Hey everyone, this is Power, and in this video where we're going to continue our road to Dark Knight's death metal, I want to do the Justice League No Justice. And Justice League No Justice is actually an interesting story. It was a four-part mini-series that was technically the prelude to everything that's going on, and I want to cover that whole thing. But before I we start this video, I want you guys to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and post a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. So, to give you guys a brief recap, what happened in Dark Knight's Metal, Barbados ended up plunging the world into the Dark Multiverse. The Justice League, using 10th Metal, plunged the world out of the Dark Multiverse. But in the process of doing this ended up causing the Source Wall to fall. And because the Source Wall is broken, the Guardians of the Universe ends up calling every single ring slinger that they can to try to fix the source wall. But the issue is that every time anything that's coming into the source wall is disintegrating. And John Stewart ends up telling Hal Jordan that they need to fix the source wall as fast as possible. And, Hal Jordan is pretty much saying that, they had to do what they had to do in order to uh, get the universe out of the dark multiverse and protect the world. But as Guy Gardner explained, that him and the Justice League broke the dangle universe because it's the source wall. The source wall is home to a lot of creatures and criminals. It holds Yuga Khan, the father of Darkseid. So it's a lot of things that has been released since the destruction of the source wall, which across the Earth multiverse, we see that the Justice League is under attack. Not just the Justice League, but the Suicide Teen Titans and the Titans. And they're all being attacked by Brainiac's Skull Ship because of Brainiac has invaded Earth. And the heroes are actually losing. And what you see is that the only hero left is Superman, who actually sucker punched Brainiac. But in the process, he ends up losing himself, where Brainiac pretty much tell him that, if I can do this so easily, you have no chance against the upcoming threat that is coming, because there is a big threat that we're going to get to a little later. We switch over to Amanda Waller, who is growing frustrated because she's monitoring this situation, but the problem is she's not getting the answers that she wants. So she ends up doing Protocol 11, where she's using apocalyptic technology, what with interfaces with Brainiac, and she's using her new task force X, to kidnap psychics to prepare to probe Brainiac's mind, which we all know could be a good thing or a bad thing. And we then wake up to see that the heroes are now in Brainiac's ship. And because they're in Brainiac's ship, we see some cool things. For example, we see that when Beast Boy wakes up, he says Brainiac's going to kill us all, but Harley Quinn says a bear is going to eat us all, which is something that you don't really see often. There's character interactions that we don't get to see too much. But we also see that there is tension between Robin and Dr. Fate after Dr. Fate made the decision to leave everyone who was captured behind except him, except Robin and Green Arrow. And it might have been Mr. Terrific, I believe. I think it was. I'm not 100% positive. I kind of forgot about that one. But this strongly went against Damian Moore. So Damian, who felt like others were doing nothing, decided that he was going to act now because he felt that his father, Batman, was going to act something that he tells him, like, my father is probably not sitting around doing nothing. He's going to find a way to break us out, do something. And when he turns around, he sees Brainiac and Trinity staring right in front of him, which then we end up learning that Brainiac staged the whole thing, and he staged because he was trying to prepare them for the coming threat, which Batman ends up telling Brainiac to explain to them what he explained to them. That's kind of weird to say, by the way. I just realized, like a tongue tie. But Brainiac begins to tell the group about the oldest myth in the universe. This myth is about four brothers who are cosmic gods that embody one of the four fundamental energies: entropy, wisdom, wonder, and mystery. They are called the Omega Titans. And each one of these brothers believe that one of their energy is the dominant energy, that they plant seeds across the multiverse. By the end of the universe, the brothers will return to see what civilization grew the most weight, the energy, and reabsorb into themselves. And what we end up finding out, since the source wall had fell, the universe was ending, when wisdom is on its way to Culu. Culu is the home of Brainiac. And Brainiac, who hasn't finished collecting his team, and his 5 own members raise the hackles of the few heroes: Deathstroke, Lobo, Luthor, Sinestro, Starro, and Etrigan, and the Demon. There's an uneasy truce broken by the Titan Starfire and Sinestro charging each other, while Star grabs Deathstroke by the mind. Meanwhile, the heads of the Justice League and the Legion of Doom, Martian Manhunter and Lex Luthor, have a quiet parley, and John ascends that Brainiac is telling the truth from what he can gather and probe from Brainiac's mind, the part that he could read. But they have a little dialogue, and this is a little change in the relationship between Luthor and Martian Manhunter, something that seems to be retconned, and that there's somewhat of a friendship and somewhat of a tension. And Luthor warns him that if he ever try to probe his mind again, he'll burn him alive, because from what the Martian Manhunter perspective, he heard that, Luthor is playing hero, and he wanted to make sure that Luthor is actually telling the truth about being a hero. When Brainiac ends up calling for the attentions because they arrived on Culu, the side of wisdom, dwarfing the planet, gives all the heroes and villains cause to pause. The teens will descend on Culu and build their remaining 3 engine infantry, wonder, and mystery, creating balance. Otherwise, the cosmic sea brain planet on Earth would draw the Omega Titans there. But he begins to give out his critical instruction. Amanda Water sets the task force 11 on Brainiac, and the Sun Psychic intrusion, and backed by apocalyptic technology, crashes his brain, his head detonates. He dies of Superman arm, and the heroes are certain without a direction. And that's how we're going to end part 1 of Justice League No Justice. And stay tuned. We're going to get to Justice League No Justice part 2. Peace.